Let's play a game that I bought and never got around to playing. This is Thomas Was Alone. Guide a group of rectangles through 120 levels, using their different skills together to overcome a series of obstacles in each environment. Discover the human-made story of the first sentient artificial intelligences with Danny Wallace's BAFTA winning narration. Let's see what it's about. Although, to be fair, I think... How do I even start? To be fair, I think everyone has probably already seen this game. It was extremely popular to play Let's Plays of. The program was a failure. People forget this. It was a massive flop. The coders started adding name strings to the ALS as a joke. Oh.
Thomas was alone. Wow. A weird first thought to have.
I wasn't able to read all of that, but that's okay. But yeah, so this was, as probably everyone already knows, an extremely popular game to play when it first came out, for YouTube and Twitch and all of that. And it looked really cool, so I bought it, but never got around playing it.
Thomas decided to start listing his observations for posterity. 1. The whole alone thing. 2. Portals. They led somewhere. He'd yet to work out where.
Oh. Okay, going through the portal cuts off his dialogue.
Interesting. Thomas couldn't fall past this block. Think, damn it, think. What if there was some kind of inverted fall? Some way to... what's the word? Jump.
Jump.
A big jump. But Thomas noted there was no real danger in missing it. The world didn't want him to fail here. It was pushing him, but gently.
There we go.
This all seemed a little dangerous. The world was not to be trusted. It was unstable, and it seemed to Thomas that it could let him down at any moment. Thomas wondered whether the portals were actually taking him anywhere. He felt like he was making progress, but there wasn't really any way to know. He seemed to be moving predominantly up and to the right, which might...
or might not be important. Of course, this voice actor is always great. I mean...
again. But Thomas could have sworn the world was becoming more complicated. It always seemed to be one step ahead of his skills.
Great narrator, great character actor, just
for him.
Wonderful voice.
He wondered why. Was the world testing him? No. Too obvious.
I imagine this is a great game to get into speedrunning because it's not super difficult.
Something about the boiling, toxic, glowing water intimidated Thomas. He didn't like it.
And he certainly didn't want to swim in it.
The loneliness was getting to Thomas. No amount of observation or obsessive note-taking could combat that.
I don't know how long this game is, though, so that would be a hindrance to newer speedrunners, possibly. I don't imagine it being super long, but, like... I'm sure there's all sorts of fun routes through there.
Thomas had a new theory. The world was training him. He could feel himself getting smarter. There was the mental list to consider. Over the minutes and seconds since his spontaneous generation, he'd become a pretty skilled jumper. He was evolving. He just wished he had someone to share it with.
I submitted hundreds of bug reports. I told that idiot this would happen. Overlapping scripts, more than one AI was bound to be spawned into the environment at some point. It turns out I missed the point. Oh,
Chris took an immediate and deep dislike to the skinny red rectangle. Who the hell did this Thomas think he was? Chris had been doing fine. He wasn't the highest jumper, but he'd held his own. He'd even been graceful at times. Well, not actually. Not technically graceful. It's probably the wrong word, but you know, fine. There was that skinny little runt leaping about like he owned the place.
ow, my face. I'm not sure what those reverse symbols are about. Oops. Oh, are they a checkpoint? I bet they're a checkpoint.
Okay, this was more like it. A glowy white thing. Only Chris could get to it, which of course made it all the more enticing. What would it do? What new opportunity might this switch open up to him?
Oh, wait a second. No, I can't jump with them on my
Grace,
head.
Grace. Another chance for Thomas to jump slightly higher than Chris. How fortunate. Seriously, this made the whole switch pressing thing entirely worthwhile.
Ah, but that would have been a little more efficient.
Was this good? Because on the surface, it did not seem good. Chris was pretty scared. Little Red seemed fine, happy to be on his merry little adventure. Chris couldn't shake the feeling that things had taken a significant turn for the worse since Thomas had joined him. Sure, he'd been able to piggyback his way to ever so slightly higher platforms, but where had that got him? Well, to ever so slightly higher platforms, which was sort of his point.
Oh my gosh. Whee!
Chris stared at Thomas with pure hatred. He seemed so very happy at their situation. Friends together, a brave fellowship of quadrilaterals on a quest for greatness. That would be fine. But it was all the obvious observation that Thomas was doing which grated. Every time they saw something vaguely new, Chris would hear a satisfied little from the vaulting idiot. He hoped the next portal would split them up, if only for a few levels.
Take a look here. Oh, shoot. Oh no, we're good. Oh, no friend?
John knew. He knew that this was his chance, a moment to shine. This was game day. This would not do. John needed room to show off his exceptional skills. As it was, he was trapped on the wrong side of these little dot things. Where did they come from, anyway?
Button.
John inhaled the air of the open space, and it
Whoops.
smelled of awesome. Time to flex those muscles, to put his training to use, time to show those little dots how it was done.
There we go. Nope. Does he jump higher? Is that the kind of the point? Yeah, that I was missing entirely. Awesome.
John decided to press the switch to let the little dots catch up with him. John cared for his new allies. You could tell from the sympathetic expression he'd practiced in the mirror all these years.
Is the idea that these little rectangles just get progressively more irritating? Is that the plan? Because the square I could kind of relate to. Thomas is awesome. And John is kind of not very nice person. I'm not a fan of John. Alright, let's get everybody up here. Alright, let's go. Eh. Oh, hello. Hello, floating, odd-looking square. Ah, okay. Get it. Rude.
John was happy to keep helping. He felt it was important to his image that he was seen to help the little guys.
Uh-huh. Okay. Alright, bud. Missed.
He didn't mind them so much either. The red one, Thomas, had a charming way of applauding every time John jumped.
Oh boy.
The angry orange one was less immediately likeable, but his unremitting cynicism and tutting amused John.
All right. I see the little black square over there. I don't know, this is getting a little fiddly for me.
This was interesting. A floating target. This would require coordination, balance, and timing. John was sure the dots would be lost, but he was happy to guide them to triumph.
Interesting.
Maybe that's what the dots were for. They were there to extend John's reach, to make his performance even more impressive. John liked the thought. He decided to keep them.
Ouch. Whee.
So, this was how Claire would die. She knew it would happen eventually. She was rubbish at jumping, and she moved slowly. She felt a little like her continued existence was breaking some kind of natural order. The crumbling pillar was a dramatic death, she supposed. Wait, what? Claire couldn't shake the feeling that she was not, in fact, dead. It was at that moment that Claire realised she had superpowers. She'd need a cape. There was no getting around that. You couldn't be a superhero without a cape. Claire didn't want confusion. If you saw a cape, that made matters clear. You knew what you were dealing with. Claire was all about communication. And, you know, floating in water, which was her superpower. All right. Fear not, my skinny friends, for I am Claire, and I will save you. Claire needed to come up with a superhero name as soon as possible. Claire was rubbish.
Well, I guess they don't get progressively worse, because Claire is pretty freaking awesome.
Claire arrived just in time, which was, of course, the perfect moment for superheroes to arrive. As the water began to rise, Claire vowed to save this little rectangle in as many restarts as it took.
Oh.
Claire wondered if
Oh.
Thomas...
I'm very smart.
Claire arrived just in time.
Wow.
Which was, of course...
Oopsies.
Claire arrived just in time. Which was, of course, the perfect moment for superheroes to arrive. As the water began to rise, Claire vowed to save this little rectangle in as many restarts as it took. Claire wondered if Thomas would make a good sidekick. Claire arrived just in time, which was, of course, the perfect moment for superheroes to arrive. Claire arrived just in time, which was, of course, the perfect moment for superheroes to arrive. As the water began to rise, Claire vowed to save this little rectangle in as many restarts as it took. Claire wondered if Thomas would make a good sidekick. Or was she more the lone Avenger type? She liked that. The sole hero in a world of rectangles and conveniently placed pools of toxic water. The others told Claire that staircases were a bit of a fixture here. Claire wondered why the world made it so difficult.
Did it again. This guy's got to get up first. Bolt. Button.
Claire probably needed a nemesis.
Whoops.
A villain who would show their true colours at the worst possible moment, hurting all she held dear. Chris was the most obvious choice. He seemed stroppy enough, and his jump was so pathetic that it conveniently avoided Claire's insecurities. Chris. Diabolical Chris. The fiendish Christopher.
Nah, Chris is chill. John's the one who's evil. He's not evil exactly, just annoying. Chris just out here trying to survive. He's a little rude, but like...
Wait. Where had Chris gone? Was he off somewhere? Plotting Claire's downfall? If Claire Claire was honest, and she had to be because she was a superhero. This was a troubling turn of events. Still, there were reasonably sized bodies of water to cross.
Probably should have dropped Claire first, but now we're good. We're good. This is fine. Ooh. Bounce. She's got a little bit of bounce now.
Platforms over water, eh? Claire's newly heightened senses told her that there were multiple paths across with various possible configurations of the little posse.
That was a bit risky.
They were doing really
Oops.
well. Claire hoped she could get them all across. John was fully aware he could do this alone. Thomas hoped he'd never have to.
Oh, Thomas. Well, John, there were 3 portals that had to activate, so no, you couldn't have done it alone.
Claire was alone, which was odd, because she wasn't meant to be alone. She needed to be where there were rectangles to save. Being the only superhero in a given space kind of defeats the object. Spikes? That was new. Claire avoided them. She decided they were most likely her kryptonite. Not the rubbish red kryptonite either, the proper radioactive green stuff.
Jeez Louise. They certainly made that jump difficult. Nah. Maybe someday I will endeavor to get all the little squares, but today is not that day. Oops.
Wow. Deja vu. The world was repeating. And this time Thomas was here. Claire felt something had gone wrong. There was a disturbance in the Force. Something had altered the Matrix. The world was reacting to their progress. It was amassing its forces. It was plotting against them. Claire finally had a nemesis.
Well, that is... certainly something.
Laura was pleased this one was behind a wall. Maybe he'd never know what she could do. Maybe they could just have a conversation, hang out. As long as he didn't find out what she could do, which would never happen so long as they stayed separate.
Uh-oh.
Laura didn't have time to worry about the ominous pixel cloud. It had been following her for some time, and it had kept itself to itself until now. More important was the little orange thing, which... As the square, who had shyly introduced himself as Chris, bounced atop Laura, she began to worry that he was just using her like all the others had. They'd all bounced too, and then they disappeared when her back was turned. Only the ominous pixel cloud ever remained, looking a little bigger and a little less hungry with every disappearing friend.
I don't think your friends left you on purpose, bud.
With every bounce, Laura found herself less and less irritated by Chris. She started to miss him when he wasn't there, on another platform or something. She'd wonder what he was up to. Was he missing her? He wasn't saying very much.
Gosh darn it. Frickin' Chris? Okay, and then if he falls from further, will he bounce further? Not really. Okay. No. Okay, she can't go up there though. So he's just gonna have to make these jumps, huh? Okay.
Chris was in love. She was perfect. He had to tell her so. At some point, he would definitely tell her. Probably best to wait for a moment the large, ominous pixel cloud wasn't about there. Yeah, probably best to wait.
Oh, let's not let them get too far apart. Ominous pixel cloud is slightly ominous. I mean, this is extremely slow going, but it's even slower to fall in like so. I don't really want to let them get too far apart because of the ominous pixel cloud. Okay. Good here.
Chris was massively disappointed to run into the gang again. He'd enjoyed the alone time with his new girlfriend.
Oh no. John's gonna steal my girlfriend, isn't he?
Too early to refer to Laura as his girlfriend? Only if I say it out loud, he told himself. He didn't want to scare her off. Chris was massively disappointed to run into the gang again. He'd enjoyed the alone time with his new girlfriend. To Laura as his girlfriend? Only if I say it out loud, he told himself. He didn't want to scare her off.
Frickin' John. Frickin' John's probably gonna steal my girlfriend. I bet. I just bet. I hope John gets eaten by the pixel cloud.
The others seemed suspicious of Laura and the eager-looking pixel cloud of death which seemed to be watching her. Sure, they'd use her inherent bounciness to reach slightly higher jump points, but they wouldn't strike up a conversation with her. Chris found them rude.
Yeah, that is pretty rude.
Rude? And always there.
It's not her fault there's a spooky cloud following her around. Hey, John. Get over here. Let's see.
The others wouldn't drop it. Who's that cloud guy? Why is he following us? What's that rumbling hungry sound he keeps making? Chris, can we just leave Laura behind?
Don't leave Laura
Rude.
behind. Yeah, very rude. Oh my gosh. Okay. There we go. Okay, we're gonna come back around to this one. 7 years later. What? Why is she sliding away? What is that? Girl. Okay. Hmm. There we go. Oh, my head. Frickin' John! Slow down, bud. You're making my life so difficult. Nope. Sure.
Laura liked her new gang. She liked Chris. She liked having friends. These ones seem to be sticking... Laura liked her new gang. She liked Chris. She liked having friends. These ones seem to be sticking around too. Not like those losers from before.
Did it break? Was it supposed to go higher? Well, if Thomas can get up there, then... Oh, maybe he can. Now she's stuck. I don't think he can get up there without her. Yeah. But Thomas can get up there without any help. So if Thomas goes down here... Not quite. But... Nope. Okay. She needs to be on top of yellow, possibly. Yeah, okay. But it needs to be yellow on top of Thomas. And then he can jump up and hit the button. And then everybody needs to get back onto blue so that they don't drown. Okay. I think this might be our last puzzle of this game for the day. I think that might be enough. Nope. Enough puzzling for my brain.
Laura liked her new gang. She liked Chris. She liked having friends. These ones seem to be sticking around too. Like those losers from before.
Okay. So, right will be this way. Nope. No. Mwah, mwah. Why am I like this?
Laura liked her new gang. She liked Chris. She liked having friends. These ones seem to be sticking around.
Wait,
too.
what?
Not like those.
What? Why did it keep filling up that time?
Laura liked her new gang. She liked Chris. She liked having friends. These ones seem to be sticking around too. Not like those losers from before.
Huh? What is happening? Why did the puzzle change?
Laura liked her new gang. She liked Chris. She liked having friends. These ones seem to be sticking around too. Not like those losers from before.
I mean, that's significantly easier. I'm just confused now, though. I did kind of wonder why it wasn't filling up with water the second time, but... Oh shoot, I forgot I gotta jump off Thomas's head. Alright, well...
Laura liked her new gang. She liked Chris. She liked having friends. These ones seem to be
Okay, Laura,
sticking
we get
around
it.
too. Not like those losers from before.
Are you serious? Bonk. This puzzle should not be taking me this long. This is insane.
Laura liked her new gang. She liked Chris. She liked having friends. These ones seem to be sticking around too. Not like those losers from before.
We all good? looks like we're good. Okay. Alright. Is she gonna be able to get out? She can. Okay. And then red, and then orange, and then... Except I think... No, she does have to be on the very top, it looks like. This is maybe not the safest way to do all of this, but it's... I appear to be coming up with my plan. There we go. Alright. That was Thomas Was Alone. I might continue it at some point. I do like puzzle games, but I think my brain is a little bit over puzzled out. So, we're gonna call it there. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.